Hello YouTubers, this is the Noobifier, and welcome to my no bullshit video on what you may expect to see in Star Citizen concerning character generation, injury, and death. On the 5th of February 2013, Chris Roberts laid out the basic plan for how Star Citizen would approach death in a document called The Death of a Spaceman. The document is pretty dated, but this, plus some isolated questions that were answered on 10 for the Chair, is all we have to go on. After reading it a couple times and thinking about how it would work out, it was pretty clear to me that the system is really well planned out and it would be fair. A great balance between the unforgiving permadeath and the carefree, mindless respawn of Call of Duty. Your character would have a history, and there'd be a legitimate need to play smart. I want to mention that this information has been researched from many sources, but heavily derived from 10 for the Chair and other official CIG sources. There's a very high likelihood that all this will be completely changed, and with that said, let's begin. Before I discuss death in Star Citizen, it would be helpful to break down what I found out about your character generation. You're most likely going to start out your life with a choice of two washroom doors, a male and a female. Once inside, you'll be able to choose how you look. You're probably going to be able to change your name at this point and choose what you want to do. Most important thing to remember about this document is that at this part of the character creation, you're going to choose your benefactor. Just like creating a will, you're going to appoint a person who will receive your estate when you die. The document goes on about some other details. I'm pretty sure that the original version and what we're going to experience on day one won't jive at all, so let's jump past this minutia. The how isn't really important today. So let's just simplify all of this by saying we're well past Squadron 42 and playing out our life in the verse. So right now, playing in the alpha, we have no reason to value our life. There's a free respawn mechanic that lets us try anything we want without any consequence. I believe that the baby PU will continue to be the wild wild west until the PU goes live. I personally don't let the griefing upset me. It's just part of the charm, I suppose. On that fateful day when we get the PU, we're going to be faced with completely foreign concepts of law, economy, and death. So Chris published how he envisioned life and death in Star Citizen. It emphasized his desire to give meaning and consequence to the player's action with a more hardcore approach to the universe. So there's definitely going to be safer areas patrolled by the law. More lucrative missions are probably going to come with a greater threat. A player won't simply be able to respawn if they choose badly or were really unlucky. So there's always going to be some form of penalty. This is going to provide us citizens with a game that requires skill and thought. Some games force you to just keep repeating a particular sequence over and over again until you seem to get lucky and pass the checkpoint. This is definitely not going to be the case with Star Citizen. Chris Roberts wanted his universe to have a certain level of tension and anxiety, but he also clearly wanted it to be an enjoyable experience. The two don't seem to be able to coexist, but I feel that this plan has struck a great balance. I think we're going to live in a rewarding universe where planning, knowing your gear, and effective teamwork will always come out on top. So to anyone with any form of gaming background, the idea of permadeath as it's known sounds like a horrible idea. Imagine playing Battlefield or COD, knowing that if you die, you need to make a new character from scratch. No one would ever bother to play that game, and it would be totally stupid. So what we need is that true balance between simulator and a casual game. Backers are pledging real money to support the game development. In return, we're getting game assets, mostly in the form of ships. So insurance is going to cover the real world investment, but how will dying play out? Losing everything and starting from zero would frankly suck. It'd likely suck so much we'd probably take a break from the game. This is not what we want, it's not why we're here. We're here to have fun. Then there's a real reason to play the game as if there's value in the life. Your unique character has a history and a set of accomplishments. Depending on what you accomplish with your citizen, you could even be known throughout the verse. Those people that know my style and know me know I always like to break things down into little scenarios, so here are a couple that should easily explain. Scenario 1. You're attacked in UEE space and you eject from your ship before it has a chance to explode. The perp buggers off and you're recovered very quickly by a friendly ship. You're physically unhurt, your craft is replaced by insurance and possibly even its modifications. If you were carrying cargo, it's long gone. So you're able to sort everything out and carry on. You may owe some money for the pickup, you may have lost some cargo and probably didn't complete the mission. Not too bad considering you should have died. Scenario 2, the same thing as before, except that perp decided to escalate and attack you in UEE space. After you ejected, he spun around and put a couple bursts of size 2 laser repeater through your arm. From what I've read, that action's going to carry some really negative penalties because it was within UEE space. The perp's going to light up all over the job board and job well, and people from all over are going to be super interested in finding him. So let's assess your current situation. You're badly burned and you're missing an arm. You're drifting in space. Your suit is venting to Atmo, and you quickly become a space meatsicle. You were collected by a Cutlass Red crew. They were really close, but it still took them 10 minutes to get to you. The medic starts on you as soon as he can. You're dropped off at a nearby Endeavour medical ship where you're treated. You get a shiny new robotic arm and have a couple of pretty bad scars. Just like before, you're going to have your new ship, but you're going to get a bigger medical bill and you're going to be set back a little bit worse than the first scenario. Because of the type and level of trauma you received, this has permanently ruined parts of your body, and for argument's sake, it cost you 1 of your 6 lives. You lost your arm and were lucky to get rescued. You carry on, but that damaged you for good. So for scenario 3, it's the same as before, except you had both your legs shot off, and the help took a lot longer to get there. All the extra trauma damaged you worse, and your injuries took a greater toll. The incident may cost you 2 of your 6 lives. You're basically fine again, but each cumulative incident brings you closer to the point where you can't carry on or there's nothing left to work with. If you get hit hard and have no lives left, you die for good. Permadeath. So now you're participating in your own funeral from the perspective of that person you appointed so many years ago when you started out your journey. I hope you chose well. Your new dude or lass is going to inherit all your physical assets, less a minor tax. That person's also going to inherit most of your reputation. If you were a solid citizen or a cheeky pirate, you're not going to have a clean slate. I think this is going to be done to ensure that people don't just try to kill themselves once they're bored of being a pirate or citizen. It takes time to build up that reputation, and just like in real life, it should take time to erase it. Anything that your dead character could be remembered for will likely be presented at their funeral. He discovered 3 planets and a jump point, like whatever. You're probably going to be able to get some memorial in the hangar or whatever. This is all just hypothetical, but you get the idea of where I'm going. You're dead, you're not forgotten, but you're able to start fresh. You're probably going to be able to start off where you were, or at least close to it. You won't have any of your accomplishments because that was the other guy, and you're new. I personally like this system idea very much. There's a real reason to stay alive, but it's not so harsh that everything you've ever worked for gets blown out an airlock just because you had a bad day. You mess up or get caught off guard, it costs you a little bit of money, gives your citizen a cool scar or metal arm, and you're able to carry on. If you get hit really hard, you have to start with a new guy, but you're still close to where you left off. Meh. Sounds good. So as I close out this video, I want to add some possible aspects to this subject that I'd researched. There is a distinct possibility that you're going to be able to regenerate some of your lives just by doing some specific missions or getting some fancy reconstructive surgery. Just how valuable is that life you lost? Permadeath is going to give you a sense of what they're calling cost history and a passage of time. And my personal favorite, if you get really pissed off because someone killed you, you can get really angry, find them, kill that person back. Avenging your own death could be the most fun thing to do in the game. I found out that this is a pretty sensitive subject amongst citizens. I had a lot of fun researching it. I knew almost nothing about death in Star Citizen, and I still feel that I'm only touching the surface. If you feel that you have anything to add, I really need you to post it up and engage with this community. My goal is always to make content that generates a discussion. We could end up with a part 2. Thanks so much to my subscribers for taking the time to hear what I have to say. I'm approaching 2,000 of you, which is just plain incredible. We're probably going to do a ship giveaway very soon, either an Avenger LTI, a Reliant LTI, or both. Support the Patreon fund. It supports you directly back in the form of free ships. I hope that this was interesting to both veteran and new backers, and I hope you got something out of it. Like and subscribe to help me get the word out about Star Citizen, and I'll see you in the verse.